What's going on, guys? Bill here in another vape review, and today I have a review I've been wanting to get up for a month and a half now. I've just been lazy and had things going on. It is the TFV8 by Smok. It's the Cloud Beast. Freaking kick-ass tank. I love the airflow. I love the top fill. I love everything about this. I loved my TFV4. I love this even more. If you have a TFV4 and you're wondering, should you upgrade? That's kind of a toss-up. I'm going to let you know, if you thought the TFV4 guzzled juice, if you thought the TFV4 required power, most sub-ohm tanks, they're little 4-cylinder engines. The TFV4 was a big V6. This is definitely a V8. This is a guzzler. I got the quad coil in it right now just because I'm out of cotton for the RBA section, but this thing goes through some juice. Kick-ass tank. We're going to dive up close, take a look at it. Then once we take a look at everything, we'll come back out, vape on it, talk about it some more. So I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, here we are up close with the packaging. This is the Smok TFV8 Cloud Beast package. I have the black version, obviously, as you saw. It's got some QR codes on the side, a little authentication scratch, tells you what coils it comes with, the V8T8, V8Q4, and the V8 RBA. On the back, it tells you a little bit what the kit includes, introduction to it. That sleeve just slides off. Excuse me. Pops up and voila. I believe it actually comes pre-installed with the octuple coil. Right now I have the quad coil installed in it. It has Smok on the tank. Has a wide bore Delrin drip tip. And just like the TFV4, it says open and has an arrow. The top swivels open. And that is your fill port for your e-juice. Very, very, very nice airflow ring at the bottom. 2 wide airflow slots. And obviously, whatever you adjust on one side will be the same on the other. Just grab it and turn it. It doesn't lock into place or anything. Nice restricting this. It doesn't spin. At the bottom, designed by Smok. 510 threads are good. Not a very much protruding 510 pin, so obviously don't run this on hybrid mods. But to disassemble it, you just grip it at the top and the base, unscrew. Alright, it comes out. Your glass comes off like so. Just pull straight off. At the base of it, it is 24.5 millimeters, and then at the glass section it tapers out slightly to 25.5 millimeters. They say with the Q4 coil in here it holds 6 mils. With the T8 coil and the RBA section it holds 5.5, but just like the TFV4 and a lot of other sub-ohm tanks, the coil just unscrews from the base. Alright, let's see if I can't get the focus. Threads are really nice on this. It's a close look at the base. Just dropping everything. Alright, the shaft section. It's got an O-ring right here where it meets with the coil. And the drip tip does come off. I guess you can see the bore on that. It tapers down slightly. Looks to be about 7 or 8 millimeters maybe at the base. Alright, so that's pretty much the tank. Now, let's see what else comes in the kit, shall we? Alright, pull this out. You have quality control card. Little warning on the back of it, basically telling you if you have if you detect a loss of flavor, change your tank, or I'm sorry, not change it, but refill it to avoid burning it. A very nice, simple, basic instruction manual. The components, how to fill it, how to build it, how to wick it. Alright. On the inside, you have spare glass. This is the octuple coil that comes with it. Let's see if I can get the focus. Alright, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it says Smok. It says this is a 1.5 ohm coil. It's rated between 50 and 280 watts, best between 120 and 180. And I have vaped it as high as my Rolo can go, which with the update is 250. I have vaped it at 250 and it does handle it. Look at the air slot on that. Look at that. Just amazing. And for the Q4, still massive airflow, not quite as much, but with the diameter, the inside diameter of the coil being wide, the airflow on this I find is better than the octuple coil. And it's an octuple coil because they are fused Claptons in each of those. So with it being fused, it's 2 wires. And here we have the RBA section, which this is what I've mainly been using. It came pre-installed with dual fused Claptons. I have vaped those till they were no longer good. Since I have built some zipper coils, which is triple twisted 28 gauge, paralleled with 3.5 millimeter wraps, and it handles the build no problem. Unfortunately, I ran out of cotton. I got some on order, so I can't wick it and show you, but you just wick it through and then tuck it down into the slides right there, and that's where your juice feeds through. And this thing does not have a problem wicking. I can tell you that right now. This coil that I built, it comes out to a 0.13 ohm. And if you did want to take this entire thing apart, it does come apart. You just grab it down here at the base and twist, and the whole thing will come apart. And your coils will come out, and you can disassemble the whole thing. But yes, I love this RBA section. I was not a big fan of the RBA section in the original TFV4, but this thing is a monster, and I love it. I freaking love it. So aside from the coils that it comes with and everything, it came with cotton. I've used it all since. And bag of goodies. You have an extra silicone gasket for your top fill. Has 2 more O-rings for the inside, an Allen key tool, some extra grub screws, which these grub screws, I will say, in this RBA section, they suck. I wish people would stop doing the Allen key grub screws and start going with flathead or Phillips head grub screws. I don't use this 510 drip tip adapter, but it's there if you want to. Some of my drip tips, like the drip tip that I had for my TFV4, fits fine, but I have a Delrin drip tip that just press fits in, and it does not. When I put it in there, I can literally just flick it and it'll fall out. So, but the gaskets on the TFV4 drip tip are thick enough, it holds in there just fine. So yeah, that's everything that it comes with. I'm going to throw this quad back in there. And I say you just screw it in. It doesn't matter where you put the glass on. And like I said, the threads on this, I've not had any issues with cross threading, with anything catching, no burrs, no nothing. When I got it, I cleaned it, vaped it, and it was good. The machining on this is great. The threads on the RBA section right here can be a little tricky. These threads I'm not the biggest fan of. Sometimes I have trouble screwing them down, but for the most part they're good. Not the best, but definitely not the worst. Alright, and like I said, to fill it, slide it open. And I will be filling it with leprechaun juice from Vapes Gone Wild. I'm almost out. And I will let you know, guys, this thing guzzles. But at the same time, you don't buy a V8. You don't buy a car with a V8 engine and expect it to get 40 miles to the gallon. This is definitely not a hybrid car. This is definitely a muscle car. But yes, this thing, I've had it now for over 2 months. It performs fantastically. I've been vaping it on my Rouleau, and I think with the orange O-rings, the black and orange and the black and red, I think it just looks sick. This Q4, 0.15 ohms. Right now I'm vaping it at 135 watts. Let's see here. It says it's best between 90 to 150, so let's go ahead and take it up to 150. I hate the 0.1 increments. I thought I liked them, but I don't. So yeah, it's giving us 4.74 volts. So we're gonna go back out to FaceTime, vape on it, talk about it some more. See you in a little bit. Alright, we're back. So that wrapped up the TFV8 by Smok. A kick-ass tank in my opinion. I've been running it on the Rouleau. Like I said, now I'm vaping it at 150 watts. It says it can go up to 180, so let's unlock it real quick. Vape's fine at 150. The airflow on this thing is ridiculous. It's a little noisy. It's less noisy with the RBA section and the V8 T8 coil than it is with this one. This one's a little bit noisier, but I run it wide open on everything. So right now we're rocking it at 180 watts, 5.2 volts. It's just kick-ass. The flavor I get off this, the vapor production is phenomenal. If you don't have a high wattage device, I wouldn't recommend it. Yes, you can run it. It'll fire kind of at 70 watts and stuff, but no. It's a 90 watt plus tank. The lowest I've run this tank with any of the three things, the lowest I've run it is 130 watts. With the octuple coil and with the RBA section, I have ran it at 250. You have to take very short drags. It's a very hot vape. But I mean, it just blasts the vapor down your throat. The flavor is fantastic. Love this thing. I mean, I've vaped a lot of leprechaun juice from Vapes Gone Wild, and it's right where it's supposed to be. I get all the notes. I get the oatmeal, the creaminess. It's fantastic. So if you're thinking about getting it, if you have a TFV4, all depends on the device you're going to run it on and how much juice you have access to, because I'll tell you right now, you're going to go through some juice. But let's see. I buy 120 ml bottles and I go through them, but that's what I want. It's what I like. I enjoy it. And it's my all-day vape. So I appreciate you guys checking it out. If you enjoy the video, please like, subscribe, and share. Stay tuned for more reviews. Oh, almost forgot. Hold up. Don't leave. Stop. I see you put... Don't you push that button. I purchased this locally at a vape shop in Wake Forest, North Carolina. It was $45.90 or $44.99, which to me is a great price for what you get. You can find it online for cheaper. It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. 35 to 45 bucks for a beast of a tank. They also have a sextuple coil. I haven't tried that one in this. And I believe they offer a different RBA head. That might have just been for the TFV8. I don't know if they've got a different RBA head for this yet or not. But check it out. Look it up. If you like it, buy it. Try it. It's awesome. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again.